Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome back to another vlog, another catching up with Sean. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are taking care. And normally I would be heading off to go grab something yummy to eat. That's kind of what this series has been. Not today. Since I got back from Vietnam, I've kind of tried to scale back a little bit from eating out. When you eat out every day for a month, and that's like every meal, you get kind of tired of eating out all the time. So, even if it's just like ramen noodles and poached egg, it feels good just to be able to make it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. So, and the other part is like, I just need to save a little bit of money. Not like I splurged or went crazy overboard or anything. I stayed fairly well within my budget when I was traveling. But, you after you have a month of that where it's constantly money going out, you just kind of go, I want to kind of ease off on the spending a little bit. So you can kind of get into habits, right? So I just wanted to kind of go, put the brakes on the whole thing, stop it where it is. So, but I'm good. Yeah, I've been busy, obviously, with a whole bunch of stuff around here. Now I gotta show you guys these. I've been noticing this all over the city. Big sections of the sidewalk getting pulled up, and it's not just here; it's like all over the place. Now, I had heard rumblings and rumors previously that there was going to be trees being planted. I don't know if that is tied into it or if there's something else that they're doing. I don't know, but it's interesting looking, to say the least. And I just want to cross the street because there's more shade. So I've been busy. I don't know what that pop sound was. Usually back in the States, I heard a bang like that. I think it was a gunfire or firecrackers. Here, usually you think it's a motorcycle backfiring. Or somebody had overinflated a tire. Funny how your mind adjusts those kind of things. So busy getting things organized and done. Kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. I will not be renewing my lease at my current apartment. I have a new place already lined up, so I'll be moving at the end of the month. That is as far as I will go. Not going to say where it is, what's happening. You'll have to wait. But I'm excited. Change is good. The 3-month cycle has been really fun to change things up and see new parts of the city and all that. I've really enjoyed it. I feel like I really haven't had a whole lot of time at this place, though. And that's because I spent like a month and a half traveling since I've been here. I did the homestay for a couple of days. I spent just around a week or so going to Siem and Phnom Penh. And then I just spent a month in Vietnam. So it's been, it's been weird to have a place that I really haven't spent tons and tons of time in. So like, when I came back, I was like, this really doesn't even feel like, did I just move in? And I'm like, no, you've been here for a while. So, but, when you're a nomadic person, you kind of get used to it. I have all the videos from Vietnam are already. I've got everything uploaded and organized on my, on YouTube. It's just a matter now of adding thumbnails and descriptions and scheduling everything out. So I'm trying to organize it all. Even though you record things, sequentially, you do 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when you go to schedule things, you're like, I'm going to move that around. I'm going to move this around, because sometimes you're like, I wore that shirt a couple of times during recording and they're all kind of bunched together. So let's break it up so it doesn't look like I'm just wearing the same shirt all the time. Silly shit you do. I've already done that. I've already adjusted some of the stuff. The videos that I did with Doug and Daryl I had recorded those later on in the trip, but I moved those forward because they had already posted their videos. So I just wanted to try to keep the timeline closer. But still, I have a boatload of videos to schedule. So, but yeah, so far feedback has been pretty good on the series. So I'm happy. Things are progressing the way they do. I was going to do most of this work yesterday, but it's been so hot, hanging out in the mid 30s with like 2000% humidity. Like even now, I'm taking a walk. It's, what are we, like 4:30 in the afternoon, and it still feels stupid hot. I try not to walk in the midday sun as much as possible, but I'm stupid at times, so I don't always pay attention to the heat. But after a few weeks in Dalat and having some cool weather, definitely feeling the heat a lot more this time around. I've been sleeping with my AC on, which is like, oh god, but I'm cutting that back a little bit. Like I said, it's been really hot. The humidity's been very high, so that's the biggest problem. It just feels sticky in the apartment. So, but it is what it is. Welcome to Cambodia. This is the wet season, so I thought wet season meant rain. I didn't know that it meant 2,000% humidity, and still as hot as it was in the high season. But it's okay. I'm very used to sweating since I've been here. So yeah, yesterday I was supposed to spend the day organizing and scheduling my YouTube stuff, because that was my intention. And unfortunately, I got a bee in my bonnet. It happens. So I have a little mini PC. I love this stupid thing. I picked it up about May of last year in Canada, and it works great. I love having it. But I have been, as of late, wanting to make a push towards getting away from Windows and going into a Linux operating system. Now I know that there's going to be a bit of a learning curve associated with a change like that. So my thought was, let's put it on my mini PC. It's not something I have to use every day, but I can play with it, get my chops going, do some editing, do all the stuff that I would normally do on my laptop, and just kind of, test out the waters, because my timelines are eased off a little bit, so I can put more attention on that kind of stuff. Well, Linux is great, but there's a learning curve. And I have tried to dip my toes into using Linux a number of times over the years, but it's becoming more and more apparent that it's something I'm going to have to do, with Microsoft showing their hand that they want to capture more data. They had a recent update on Windows 11 where they were taking screenshots of your desktop to better inform you of your information so that you could find things better. But it's data tracking, and I don't like it. And there wasn't a way to turn it off initially. Now they rolled it back. But it's things like that that are worrisome. So I have wanted to go to Linux for a number of years. And I'm not like a super user, but for most of the stuff that I do, now there is options in Linux. So I threw a couple of different distros on my mini PC to try out. The first one I used was Linux Mint, and I ran into a bit of a hurdle with that one because I use Jellyfin, which is a media server. So I have a bunch of movies and TV shows from DVDs that I've collected over the years, and I ripped them all, and I have digital copies of it all. So what I do is I have it on my external hard drive, so I can watch, all these shows and movies whenever I want. So it's like having Netflix at home, like the interface works. So I can watch it on my tablet, on my phone, on my computer, on my Apple TV, wherever I'm at, I can have access to my media library. And the part that I use a lot is music. As a DJ, I have collected thousands upon thousands of songs throughout the years. I can't even tell you how much music I own. So a lot of times when I'm at home, I like to throw it on, just do a shuffle, play a bunch of music, make a playlist, and I enjoy it. It's nice to have on in the background when I'm working, when I'm doing other stuff. So it's nice to have access to it. So the problem with Linux Mint is that it was working, kind of. Like I got Jellyfin up and running, but I could see my drives, but I couldn't mount anything. There seemed to be a permissions issue. And I just could not figure out how to get past it. So I was like, okay, well, let's go to the other user-friendly one that people say you got to try, and that's Pop! OS. And installing these things is stupid easy. It's like, it's not a headache. Like, this is not a complicated process. So I installed Pop! OS, and I didn't have the issue with my external hard drive. Everything was just working. I could see all my data. So I got that all populated. I set up the Jellyfin server. It's just a bunch of folders. Figured out how to do it within Linux. And I was like, okay, this works. And so I got that. So that was good. Next step was trying to get DaVinci Resolve running. That's the software that I use to do all my editing for all of my videos. I own a copy of it. I purchased it a year or so ago, so I get unlimited updates. And they have Mac, Linux, Windows, and I think now there's an ARM version. So, I dig the software. I love it. So again, they have a Linux distro for it. So I'm like, let's go and install that. And with Pop! OS, I found a workthrough on how to do it without having to get into like major. It was jumping through. It's Linux. It's what you do. So I was doing a whole bunch of stuff through command line because I had to run a distro box, and I was running Fedora within Pop! OS so that I could get it running. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But I got it running. So I got it installed, got it all set up, and I go to start to do an edit, and it says, it gives me an error message that I don't have a supported GPU. But I do, because I use this PC for editing on Windows. So I know that it's an onboard graphics card. So it's like AMD has like a mobile processor with a graphics card built into the processor. And you can allocate memory to the video card. So I give it 4 gigs of RAM, ample enough to do what I need. So it should be good. It is good in Windows, but I couldn't for the life of me figure it out how to get the drivers set up properly in Linux. So I was like, okay, let's throw on another distro. Sorry about that. There was music playing. They had the little kid zone back there, so they got music playing that I wanted to make sure I didn't have to deal with. So yeah, I go and do a test of this gaming-oriented one. And the nice thing about Linux is you can install it on your hard drive, or you can run it from a USB stick. And I tested Steam, so I was able to play games, so it was fine with that. But I ran into the same issue with not being able to detect the hard drive for my Jellyfin. So I was like, gosh dang it. So I kind of just set it aside last night. I'm like, okay, you can let it breathe, let it take, stop freaking out over it. So this afternoon, I was doing some digging around online, and lo and behold, I found a guy that has the exact same system that I have and uses DaVinci, and he has a work through on how he got the drivers to run. So I'm going to try that in Pop! OS later on tonight. And the great thing is that I have like this little mini PC, man. I love this stupid thing. Easy to open up. It's like 5-6 screws. I'm in. Take out the M.2 drive, put in the other one, close it up, reboot, and I'm in the OS. Like, it just works so well. I love this little mini PC. Good little rig, man. I would, AMD has a new 9000 series processor, and their new, same idea as the one that I have in the mini PC. The graphics card in that is comparable to a desktop GPU from a couple of years ago, which is just silly. Like, the fact that I could be able to play decent games at a decent res. Like, I only play at 1080p, and I don't mind going to medium settings. I'm doing that on my laptop now with a 3070 in it, and I'm like, if I could just have a little mini PC that does all that kind of stuff, it'd just be perfect. And even the current one I have it should be good enough for me for years, to be honest. It should be good for years, but I'm a nerd. I like tech, and since I don't feel the need for upgrading and building myself a main desktop computer here, these little mini PCs are kind of what I need. Hello. There's a family of 3 on that scooter. All 3 of them were just staring at me and the camera. So cute. But yeah, with the cost of power here, the little mini PCs just kind of make a lot of sense for me for wanting to do my gaming and all that kind of stuff. And for having like an always running little media server. I think the damn thing runs on like 10 watts. Just idle, like just sips power. And it doesn't use tons when I'm doing stuff with it. So I dig these things a lot. Hence, I'm a nerd. I like this kind of shit. So, long story short, I'm excited to play on Linux on this little machine. It was a whole day of fun for me. I know it would be for some people like, oh my God, that just sounds so awful. But for me, I'm like, it's so much fun. Like, honestly, like surfing through forums, trying to figure out how to get things to work. And that's the thing about Linux, is that it's not intuitive for me yet. I need to work on it. So I figure keep plugging away at it for however long until I get comfortable. And once I'm finally done, then I can install that on my laptop. And what I'll probably do is I'll just get an M.2 for my laptop. Like, I'll just buy like a 500 gig or a terabyte drive, put it in, take out the one that's currently there, and just put it in enclosure and put it away. So in case I ever need it, I can just reinstall it. I don't have to, leave Windows entirely. I can have it sitting on my shelf. If I ever get stuck and like, oh God, how am I going to do this? I can go back without having to reinstall it, because unscrewing a couple of screws on a laptop is a hell of a lot easier than having to do it on a the hours it takes to install Windows. And that's like why I enjoy the Linux, because like in the same amount of time it would take me to install Windows, I played around with 2 distros. Figured out a bunch of things that I need to do. But yeah, it was fun. But yeah, if you're curious about what my life is like, that's, what does Sean do to keep himself busy while he's in Cambodia, sweltering in the heat? I goof around on my computers. I can entertain myself endlessly with this stuff. Love it. I love it, love it, love it. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to go and make myself some dinner. I think I'm going to make myself some pasta this evening. I have been making a mushroom and garlic pasta with like these little local noodles. It's two. One looks like it's spinach. One looks like they kind of look like fettuccine, but they're not. They're like a dried noodle. But they cook up nicely, and they're nice. And I got a nice baguette that I put a little bit of garlic and butter on and grill that, or I pan sear it. And then just have a nice bowl of pasta. And I'm doing veggie. Like the only meat I'm having on it is butter on the bun, because trying to think. Yeah, I've got coconut oil, coconut milk, shallots, mushrooms, garlic, and then little herbs and stuff. And then so holy crap! I didn't even realize I've been doing a vegetarian style cooking for the last little while. Look at me, learning stuff about myself. I guess I was craving veggies. Anyway, I hope you guys don't mind this new format. So, like I said, I will be moving at the end of the month. Typically, I stream on local time would be Fridays and Sundays. I do believe that moving day will be on the Sunday. So expect a video for the second live stream coming up this week later on. I think it is, or is it next week? Can't tell you. Whatever the 31st lands on for me. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. And if you do like my content, please feel free, like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, if you are still here and you're so inclined and you weren't running to the hills hearing a grown man talk about Linux, there's a link over here. Another one of my videos. All right. See you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.